What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. I'm one of your hosts, Carl Sinclair, joined as always by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Chief in the streets, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Jack Gibb. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How are things on your side?
Yeah, not too bad. Can't complain. Want to complain. Won't complain. Yeah, but no, it's good. It's good. Actually, I'm about to complain in a second. Just so you know.
Oh, let's go. I'll get straight into it. What's
All
going
right.
on?
Breaking news, okay? Because like this shit always happens when we're doing the podcast, but we're doing it a little bit later this week, so I've actually been able to see this news as it happens, okay? If this turns out to be nothing, I promise on God, there will be murder. That's on God. So we are going to be talking tonight about the Switch 2. It's launching this week, and there's a potential direct coming up. We're just going to talk about our hope streams, things we've heard. But before we get into that, there was a tweet that happened literally 1 minute ago. I seen it as we started the show. And Summer Games Fest is coming up. People are starting to tease being there. Embark is apparently, they've put their trailer on a VHS for Arc Raiders. We're supposed to be getting the date for that. We got Bandai Namco teasing some stuff that's going to be there. Everyone's getting really hyped. You know what I mean? And then out of nowhere, unnecessarily prompted, mind you, this is an unnecessary prompt. So if this turns out to be nothing, what they've done here is an act of terrorism. An act of terrorism against me and the other fine people of the video game sphere, the fans of video games. Ubisoft has just tweeted, right? Nothing else. Just tweeted this. Those two eyes and that shocked mouth face. You know that one with the eyes and there's like that mouth in the middle and it's like, you know that one? Yeah. Hashtag Splinter Cell. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
If this turns out to be nothing, I swear to God, I swear on everything good. I'm on the next flight to Paris. I'm going to the Louvre because I wanted to see that my whole life. Once I've seen that, I'm coming straight there and I'm bitch slapping Yves Guillemot and getting deported. I swear to God. If this turns out to be nothing, I swear. I can't take it anymore. If Summer Games comes and goes and there is no Splinter Cell trailer, not even an inkling of news, I will be on the no-flight list to Paris. That's basically how it is.
What's acceptable? Like if it's a remake of one or reimagining? Like are there certain things that wouldn't be acceptable?
The only thing at this point that wouldn't be acceptable is nothing at all.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like if we get to the end of it and not one word has been mentioned, there's not one teaser, not one trailer, I'll be pissed. And
what if Blacklist has been remade for the iPhone?
I'd take that.
Take that, okay.
I take that.
I just want to like, set my expectations.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that like actually really likes Blacklist. I think I'm in the minority with Splinter Cell fans on that. I enjoyed Blacklist a lot, and I've literally played that within the last few years. I really enjoy that game. But like, here's my thing: it's definitely going to be. There's no way we're getting a brand new Splinter Cell before we get this remake that's already been announced. So if there is anything, it's a trailer for the remake. They've already said that they're changing the story to fit modern day ideals. Hate that. Should have just remade the original. Set it in the original timeline. Set it in the original time period. Would have been freaking easy. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. We don't need it for modern day. Yeah. Splinter Cell. We didn't need a reimagining of the story. We had a story. We liked the story. The story makes sense. Anyway. If we get to the end of this, and here's my thing. If we get a teaser trailer, 30 seconds, and it's the night vision goggles again, and it just says, still in development, I'm going to be pissed. I think I'm allowed to be pissed.
Deserve a bit more than that.
100%. Now, I'm not asking for a 15-minute deep dive gameplay, because I know Ubisoft haven't got the balls, or the manpower, or the brains to do that. So if they just... You really want to you want to twist my nipples, you want to tickle my pickles. All you got to do is do a shot-for-shot remake of the original trailer in this new engine. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be like, cool, it's coming. You don't even need to give me a date. Know that if you give me a date, you stick to it. No. You stick to it, all right? You gave us a freaking window for freaking Prince of Persia remake, and look at that. That's apparently coming. We're probably going to see that this summer, but... Don't tweet Splinter Cell. This is what I'm saying, right? Everyone's going to think I'm a madman. Everyone's going to think I'm crazy, Jack. I love Splinter Cell. Have for years. Will always love Splinter Cell. You know, it's one of those games that I would sit there and watch my dad play, and I'll be like, I want to play that. And then he's like, I don't know if you're good enough. And then I was better than him. Okay, and that's what I knew video games were my calling. So, you don't tweet hashtag Splinter Cell and then give us nothing. It's not trending. And if there's a post tomorrow by Insider Gaming or IGN or 1UP Games saying, hey, they only did it because of this reason, it's got nothing to do with the new game, I'm coming for you because you'll be the one writing it, because I won't have the strength. And I'll move to Blue Sky because Twitter won't want me anymore. Like, I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of Ubisoft. So anyway, Switch launch week, man. It's coming up. Oh man, it came fast. It came fast, man. Like next week? No. Yeah, next week. Next Thursday. Crazy, mate. I think the big thing to talk about, and the thing that everybody is probably going to want us to talk about, is there is a rumored Nintendo Direct that's going to happen. And to be honest, it would make sense. I think it would make a lot of sense. I think the reveal Direct was great. It got us pretty excited. We got a little hints of what's to come, but I feel like that Direct, as always, was set up to sort of give us a look at the console, a look at the features, a look at what we're going to be able to do with the thing. Fine. Mario Kart is really the only game we need for launch day. Let's be honest. We have got a bunch of launch titles. Mario Kart's the only one we need. And we've already got like... They're keeping the momentum going like they did with the Switch 1. We know what the next game is after Mario Kart. So just when we start getting bored with Mario Kart, boom, we've got Donkey Kong. We can play Donkey Kong. We're excited. There's been some rumors out there of what we're going to see, what we could see. A lot of people bringing up Banjo-Kazooie for some reason, which is very odd. But to be honest, with like Xbox the way they are right now and the relationship they got with Nintendo, could see it. There's not a lot of leaks or any information like that out there basically telling us what is going on. So, I thought it would be fun. Just quickly. Splinter Cell has just thrown me. Sorry. What do you expect to see at this Direct? What would you like to see at this Direct? And do you think this Direct is going to happen? I would like to talk about all three of those, not in that order. So, number one, do you think this Direct is going to happen? Can you see a Direct happening day after, day of? Because I feel like it's got to either happen the day of or the day after, because Summer Games is literally right then and there.
Timing, I don't know, but I would love for it to be just before the launch. Give us something to talk about while we're in queue. You know what I mean? Like,
make you regret not getting a pre-order. That's what they're going to try and do. That's them being like, oh, next shipment's in July.
I mean, that's the thing though, right? Like, EB sold out of their initial pre-orders. So it's late June or whatever for your next, if you pre-order a Switch from EB. There are other retailers. But...
And from what I've heard, they're going fast. Really fast.
Right. So, you know, if you've a Direct that's talking about the end of the year, and you do it early June and you don't have a console to sell, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you're better off waiting a couple of weeks. But I don't know. I would feel better about my purchase if I knew a bit more about what's going on, to be honest.
And I think those are the people that deserve it. I think this Direct probably isn't trying to sell new people. I think it's trying to show the people that have got on board here and now, like, hey, we appreciate getting on board. Here's what you got to look forward to. And then other people that didn't get on board are going to be like, shit, I need to get in on that next shipment. But I think they're more... Let's be honest, it's been a rough sort of reveal. It's going to be a rough launch for them because, you know, people are pissy about the price. Hey, it's Australia for us. It's another Tuesday. We get fucked in the ass on prices of games and consoles all the time. So we're used to it. You know what I mean? We just roll with the punches. So I'd love a Direct just to let me know that, like, I've got stuff to look forward to. We literally did just get a date for the new Pokemon game. That's coming out in October. And we've got a date for a Pokemon Presents. This is the earliest in memory date we've gotten for a Pokemon Presents in a while. So I'm going to assume... This is me assuming. This is not a Gatorade get hype moment, guys. Wait till we get a little bit closer and I might get you hyped. We're going to see some big stuff for the Switch 2 at this Pokemon Presents. I think we're going to see the shadow launch of that Pokemon Champions game. I think that they're going to show us what's coming next from Pokemon. I think we're going to get a real good tease of what's coming next. That's going to take full power of the Switch 2. So I think it makes sense. I could see them... So I could see us getting a Direct right now, week after Switch, a few days after. Do you want to be clear of Xbox? Do you care about Xbox? Maybe you don't care about Xbox, unless you've got some sort of partnership with Xbox and the Banjo-Kazooie thing leans out, and it could be true. If the Banjo-Kazooie thing is true, Xbox reveal that they're bringing Banjo-Kazooie back, and then it will be shown at the Nintendo thing. I think it happens after the Xbox presentation, which happens on the Monday for us, Tuesday. I think it'll happen Thursday of the next week. It'll be exactly a week after. So that clears Summer Games, that clears Xbox, and then you can sort of have the floor to yourself. Because let's be honest, once Summer Games is over, there's just going to be a lot of stuff that's like years out. once Xbox is over, I think we're going to be looking at a pretty strong year from Xbox. And then I think Nintendo can come in swinging and show off what they want to show off. Then you've got a Pokemon Presents. And then I think after that Pokemon Presents, you give it a few weeks and then you hit us with another Direct. And then I think we're good until maybe the end of the year for like a final Direct leading into the next year. No big announcements, just an announcements like, hey, this is coming in January. This is coming in February. This is coming in March. You know, it's those sort of like downloadable games, third-party titles sort of thing. I think they definitely want to hit the ground rolling. And I think this Direct will happen. Sorry, I went on a tangent there. I didn't mean to. I'm just...
No, all good points. I just refreshing myself on the last Direct. I just got an article up on the iPad here. You know, I was thinking we need a bit more third-party pizzazz, if you will. You know, a little bit of love and a little bit of wow factor. But I don't know. I'm looking at this list. I mean, they've already given us some big stuff. Like, we've got Street Fighter 6 coming. We've got Elden Ring coming. We've got... I'm not looking at launch titles here specifically. I'm skipping a few obvious ones, like your Cyberpunks and whatever.
Yep.
We've got Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
That's awesome.
Hitman's a launch title. Yakuza 0 launch title. Fuck, I'm really stepping on some landmines here. But Borderlands 4 is coming later. We've got WWE, NBA coming later. FIFA coming later. We've got Star Wars. We've got 2 Point Museum. We've got Star Wars Outlaws. That was Fortnite is a launch day update. There's a whole bunch of stuff here, right? I'm just picking out things I recognize. There's probably more that people are screaming at me for, which is fair. But you know, Dust Bloods. That's a huge thing coming on later.
Keen.
Metroid's obviously later. Like when I re-look at this list, I'm like, oh, there is third-party support. There's no lack of support, but I do feel like there's not many surprises. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like shocked at some of the things I just read out. Like Hitman Assassination Signature Edition or whatever. Like, yeah, I'd believe Hitman could come to Switch too. Like, I mean, sure, you know, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Yeah, like I'd be surprised if it didn't. I think we need a couple of surprises. You know, I know COD's not going to be surprised, but we need a couple of, you know, if Battlefield comes out and like, hey, we're coming to Switch too, I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I think another reason I think they should steer clear of Summer Games and Xbox and have their own little time to shine is I think those two presentations can do a lot of groundwork for the Nintendo Switch 2 because you're going to see a lot of third-party games at Summer Games Fest that are just going to have that Nintendo Switch 2 logo at the end of their trailers, and people are just going to be like, "Oh shit!"
It's not going to be the point of the trailer. But
exactly.
It's right.
We're going to see a big third-party title that we're like, "Whoa, this looks sick, man! Oh man, I can't wait to play this on PlayStation. Oh bro, Xbox is dope." Oh shit, it's coming in Nintendo. Like, that's crazy. And now there are going to be some people out there going, oh great, the game's not going to be able to reach its full potential because it's got to come out on a Nintendo system. But get over yourself, dude. Play it in handheld mode. You know, get on a bus, go touch some grass, leave the rest of us alone. No, I think they're going to do a lot of the groundwork for Nintendo so that if we do get this Direct, that's where I think we're going to see them push the games that I think they believe gamers need to see. Do you know what I mean? Like, we talk about a lot of these Directs and a lot of these, like, states of play and a lot of these, like, Nintendo Directs that are literally like, oh, this was an obligation. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this was them getting their partner obligations out of the way. That's what I think Nintendo are going to use the Xbox conference and the Summer Games conference for. These are our obligations. You know what I mean? We're going to be on the end of these trailers. If we do get this Direct, I think this is going to be them saying, hi, we're here to make a statement. These are the games coming towards the end of the year. I think, let's just move into like what titles we can see. I really do believe fully that we're getting a Mario Kart and we're getting a Donkey Kong early in this year, right? This is a big year for Mario. I think we will see a new 3D Mario game come out at the end of the year. I think that's their big game for the end of the year. And...
What game is that, sorry?
Pardon?
Which game is that? It cut out.
A big 3D Mario game. Like Odyssey 2 level game.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. Yep.
Like, it's a big year for Mario, so I really do see them dropping something big. I mean, I'm just looking at it logically, right? So I don't think we're going to get like... here's what the next year of the Nintendo Switch 2 looks like. I think they're going in there with, here's what we're getting until the end of the year. And I think they're going to sprinkle a couple of teasers into the start of the year. And then we're going to direct at the end of the year, which will flesh out a lot more of what we're looking forward to in the first half of next year. So I think we're going to get this Mario title. And you got to look at it like launch Mario Kart. Month later, Donkey Kong. Couple of months later, new Pokemon. Month later, new Mario, 3D Mario game. December, and I believe this kind of, new Smash Bros. I think new Smash Bros will come. But I think before we get that, we're going to get a Switch 2 version of Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is, I think, what we're going to get in December. And we'll get the reveal of whatever Smash next is next year.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Oh, man,
I don't know, man.
I'm living for it, man. I'm living for it.
I a couple of games, like just to get the brains thinking as well. Like, a couple of games that I think would be doable on Switch 2 and get a bit of an old damn moment. Something like Destiny 2.
Yeah, that could definitely.
That would really.
And now's a good time for them to do it, with them moving into their next sort of era of what Destiny's going to be.
Yeah, if they've still got to support it on PS4 and Xbox One, I mean, Switch 2 will do it fine. So I kind of like something like that. You know, I know we've talked about Siege a little bit. That'd be kind of cool on the Switch. I would love to see some extra support from live service titles. Like Apex is on Switch. Give us that Switch 2 update. You know, like I feel like we need a few announcements that should be like really simple and obvious, but they sort of need to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll come, but yeah, I think that's what I need personally. You know, I want to be in that situation where it's like, hey, this is a game I play somewhere else, but it's like, you know, it's available on the Switch, cross save, cross play, you know, all that sort of stuff. Like I feel like it needs a couple of announcements that sort of cement it as a compare. Like I know it's not comparable to the PS5 and Xbox Series X, but it just needs a few announcements that sort of cement it a bit in that sense, I feel.
Yeah.
And it's got a few, like Borderlands 4, for example, is like a crazy one. But I think that's what it needs for me personally.
Do you know what I think takes away from the Borderlands 4 announcement for the Switch? I think what we're really looking for here, and I think what takes away from the Borderlands 4 is because Borderlands 3 is on the Switch One. I think whatever the big game we need on the Switch is a game we've never been on Nintendo, that we couldn't have thought in any way, shape, or form that this thing could have worked on a Nintendo console. And you know what? Cyberpunk probably would have been that game if it had launched and worked, and people are still talking about it to this day about how astronomically amazing that game was. That probably could have been it. But because of the way it all went down, it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Which is very sad.
It's crazy because the Switch port is way better than like the last gen version of the game, and it's really stable. I fucking played it; it's great, you know. But I think you're right. Like it hasn't done what it should have done. Yeah,
it was soured, which is very unfortunate. But I think we need to see a big game that.
Did Grand Theft Auto do it? GTA 5. I feel like with GTA 6 coming out though, it sort of doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that like we're so hyped for GTA 6, dropping GTA 5 again is almost like, hey, Skyrim's coming to the Switch 2 as well. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen. It's basically them sort of. It's expected, you know. And I'm trying to think like what could be like a big game that could do it, and I just like I can't put my finger on what it is yet. Do you know what I mean? I can't touch it.
Because Assassin's Creed come to the rescue here.
I mean,
Star Wars Outlaws coming should be doing a similar job to that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not going to do it, which sucks. You know what I mean? I think if we start seeing, I mean, it's not going to do it, but I think another oh wow moment will be when games like Resident Evil come and they're not the cloud version. Do you know what I mean? Like we're just putting in the cart and we're going. Yeah. You know what I mean? When we're not looking at cloud versions of games anymore, I think that's also going to be something that's big. Lots of rumors about Resident Evil 9 getting announced at Summer Games. If Resident Evil 9 drops a trailer and the Switch 2 logo is at the end of that trailer, I could 100% see that being a big freaking deal. Like a big deal. Yeah, okay. That will make people super excited. Because another thing we're going to remember about Resident Evil is like, apart from them just having banger after fucking banger the last, like, it feels like 10 years, they often lean into gimmicks. You know what I mean? Like, we got a VR version of 7 for the PlayStation VR. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could see them leaning into some sort of Switch gimmick for Switch players. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't change the way the game plays. Like, it'll still play phenomenally on a Series X and S or a PS5. but like, you know, just like, oh, use your Joy-Cons to aim the gun. You know what I mean? Play with tank controls, play like the original Resident Evil, because it's very heavily rumored that it's third person. Like they're stepping away from the first person perspective. So VR isn't really going to work. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
giving Switch players a unique way to play this game could be it. You know what I mean? It could be it.
I've thought of a couple of games that might do it as well on top of that. Go in a different direction though, wildly different direction.
Yeah.
Imagine something like League of Legends dropping on the Switch too.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, man. Like, how many Switches do you think people will go through? I feel like people will chuck their Switch out a window. Like, good for Nintendo.
Because, like, I mean, you know, there's obviously, you know, portable PC gaming's a thing, and they would all run League of Legends, you know what I mean? So I don't know if there's some sort of overlap there that would actually not help, but I think it would bring it to the, like, a group of people that wouldn't normally touch it.
What if, now I know, like, this is me just like, it can run, I'm sure, like, a toaster can run League of Legends these days, so I'm sure the Switch could run League of Legends. I think that'd be sick. I wonder if they, like, keep that sort of, like, handheld spirit going, and they port, I think it's called Wild Rift, League of Legends Wild Rift, the mobile version of League of Legends.
Oh, okay. I'm not really familiar, but yeah.
Having, like, a smaller League of Legends experience, I think, would be sick. And I would also 100%, and I know all of you out there would too, 100% buy an Arcane-themed Nintendo Switch bundle, which came, like, with the game on the Switch. That would be so cool. Like a Vi and Jinx Joy-Con on an Arcane-style freaking thing, like a purple one and a red one. Oh, bro. Oh, my God. That would be sick. That would be so cool.
The hard thing is, I don't know if you can have games on the Switch too that force you to use mouse mode.
Right.
Something that I would struggle to get my jaw off the table if like StarCraft 2 was announced for Switch 2. But
that would be cool.
They're not going to go to the effort of making that game work on a controller. Like that's not.
Yeah.
It would not be the same game. Yeah, it wouldn't even be.
Well, I mean,
that'd be StarCraft 2 edition. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's not,
in terms of that sort of stuff, I feel like if you're going to offer up the mouse, like you will see stuff that's like mouse only games, I think. And I think it makes sense. If you're going to offer that up and it's not just a gimmick, I think we should expect to see some games that will only take advantage of that control scheme.
I hope we do.
Yeah.
The mouse comes with the console. Like, you don't have to buy something, like, it's there. It's in the Joy-Con. I think it should absolutely allow mouse only games. It'd be hard to, like, make sure someone doesn't accidentally buy StarCraft and then get disappointed.
Plus, you can use a USB mouse, guys. Just so you know, they fucked up and they showed that early.
Yeah, wild. I can't wait to see more about that.
No.
That's fucking crazy.
I'm waiting for the tweet where it's like, everyone calm down. It was only for the developers. It's a development tool. You will have to use the Joy-Con.
Look, and that's the thing. The Joy-Con mouse is cool, and I spoke about this like last week or the week before, but it's not. I don't know if I could like game for hours in that mode. Like, it's not like, you know, as a PC gamer, I spend a lot of money finding the right mouse, and the Joy-Con ain't fucking it. Like, it's a great feature, and I love that it's there. But plugging my own mouse in and having a game like StarCraft on that thing would just be fucking wild. But look, I'm getting a bit off track. StarCraft's not coming to Switch 2, but my point is, like, it needs something that couldn't have been done on the Switch 1.
Yeah.
It needs something. And the games that are impossible on Switch 1, like Cyberpunk, are only possible on Switch 2 because it's got a bit more power. But some of these things with the mouse support, like, there might be an opportunity to do something that was quite literally impossible, no fucking matter what. You know what I mean?
I've figured it out. I know what they can release on the Switch 2 to prove that the Switch 2 is the most powerful version of a Nintendo console ever. They port Mortal Kombat 1 that actually looks good and works.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a good fucking start? Jesus.
That would be so funny, though.
Yeah, like, they should just make good on that, though. You know what I mean?
Honestly, yeah. Free Switch 2 update, everybody. There it is. It works now. It's great.
I read during the week that Wii Sports, or Nintendo Switch Sports, whatever that game's called, only works on the Switch 2 with the Switch 1 Joy-Cons.
Huh.
Now, from a technical perspective, that might make a lot of sense to whoever made the game and whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
Time to give a free Switch 2 patch to that game.
Yeah.
that needs a little patch. That one.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was
I wonder
a weird
why.
little. Yeah, look, it must be something very technical with motion or whatever. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
But a free patch is necessary. Like that's where my expectation is.
Jack.
Yeah.
Potentially, game for Switch 2, right?
Yep.
If a game, because there's been a lot of hush-hush about this game that's going to be at Summer Games. Apparently, they've got some big announcement that's like, not just this release date, but if a game like Arc Raiders came to Switch...
Yeah, I think that would be a strong one.
Because
the Switch needs to play the next big thing.
Yeah, because the Switch has never had a game like that before. Like that's so new territory for it.
I think this is a separate conversation. Like, as in, we're saying in one bucket we need a game that was impossible, and we need something that like, holy fuck, the Switch is in town. Like that's part one of the conversation. But part two is it needs to have the next big game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when the next Rocket League or Fortnite or whatever it is comes out, and it might be Arc Raiders, it being on Switch would be incredibly cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know what, like a Helldivers level game needs to come out, and it's on Switch. You know, like that'd be fucking madness.
Helldivers on Switch would be so good.
Fuck oath it would.
It'd be so freaking good.
Arc Raiders would be cool. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, just thinking of like a different experience as the Switch has never had, that offers something that's like, in a lot of what a lot of people have said, and having played it, I freaking enjoyed it. Would be Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders I think would be very interesting for them to do.
Yeah. See, I've always thought of Nintendo hardware as like my second thing, and that might be a very privileged statement, but like, you know, I've got my Xbox 360 and my Wii. I've got my PC, you know, and I've got my Switch. You know what I mean? Like it's always like, hey, I've got this for when I need to play a Nintendo game. But I think at this price point, it's going to become a lot of people's first console. You know, and if it's PC and Switch, it might be the only place they can play not at their desk.
Yep.
And I think it would just be cool to have some desk level experiences on the Switch too. And I think the mouse support is a huge opportunity there. But yeah, like a game like Arc Raiders comes out. I don't know much about Arc Raiders use. This might be the stupidest fucking thing ever, but like have a big session at the desk. But like, there's a couple other things you want to get done, you know. But you've got to jump on the train, or you've got to go to bed, you know, quickly finish something up on the Switch, or like I can see
that would be really cool, actually.
And this is the thing, right? Like, you know, we're gonna have time for it now, but we were sort of talking about we're thinking about talking about PC handhelds, Xbox handheld, all that sort of stuff, right? And the problem is, I've got my beautiful gaming PC, and I've got my Switch too. Is there room in my budget to get $1,000 ROG Ally? Like, probably not.
Yeah, no, yeah, good point.
Probably not. I mean, maybe one day, hopefully, you know, win Tats Lotto, great. But
send us one, ROG.
Yeah, happily have one given to me, of course. But I think for most people, it's not a case of a bit of everything. It's going to be a case of picking one or two things. Like, we're not, you know, especially for our generation, we're just continuously getting fucked by the economy. Like, you know, some lines have to be drawn. And I think the privilege of a game PC, beautiful. That's an amazing privilege. Love my PC. Got the Switch 2 pre-ordered, very lucky. I don't know if there's a middle ground. So, like, I need some of these experiences to come to the Switch, and that would really tie things together for me personally. And I don't think I'm alone.
No.
And that's where my mind's at. Because I think the days have been going, oh, that's my Nintendo, you know, like, that's my Mario machine. It's like, that's great. But I kind of need to do a little bit more for the price. Like, $700 ain't nothing. Whereas, like, you know, the Switch one was, like, $380 or something, like, fucking 10 years ago. Like, that was... I could afford that for that to be my Nintendo console back then. And I don't think that's the case anymore. And yeah, I don't think I'm alone. But
that's very fair.
Hey, you know, when I go back and just to, you know, circle my discussion on this up, when I go back and look at our article about everything that was announced at the last Direct, like, they didn't undersell it. You know,
no,
we've got Madden coming, EA Sports, we've got Hogwarts Legacy, we've got Street Fighter. You know, like there's plenty of shit coming. Maybe just some of it didn't jive with me, but yeah, I'm keen for another Direct, and I hope it's in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. Well, hopefully we haven't got long to wait. You know what I mean? Plus, we've also got Summer Games coming next week, so then we got that to talk about on next week's show before that drops. So that'll be fun.
And we need to try and time to discuss what Nintendo's things might be announced at the Xbox conference. I feel like that's a discussion worth having.
Yeah, next week will be a big one. So yeah, we'll definitely pocket a lot of our discussions for next week. But I feel like that's a pretty good place to you know, put a pin in it, because next week we'll have a brand new console to talk about. 2 upcoming, well, literally hours after we finish our podcast, we'll be thinking about because that's Saturday morning for us at 7 a.m. on Saturday is the Summer Games
Extra
one,
episode
I
next
think. Yeah, boys. But yeah, that is going to do it from us. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We really do appreciate it. Be sure to let us know what your predictions are for the Nintendo Switch 2. Are you getting one? Do you want one? Let us know. We're very excited to hear, because I'm very keen. I'm always excited when a new console comes out. This is just like it's like Christmas in July, but we're in June. But you know what I mean. But yeah, that's going to do it from us. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with our Xbox conference predictions. We'll be talking about Summer Games Fest and probably our first hands-on impressions of the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, I feel like we've had a day with it by then. We can just literally give like, it's good, or So
it'll be the big question will be the buyer's remorse, if that's in the room with us or not.
The funny thing will be, hey guys, welcome to the podcast. For the next hour, me and Jack are going to sit here and play Mario Kart and try to talk to you guys, but no promises. Well, yeah. Well, you know, if you want to hear that or watch that or all of that, make sure to like and subscribe, follow wherever you are. And for the latest in gaming news, reviews, and previews, be sure to like and subscribe to 1UP Games. Check out the website at oneupgames.com. But that is going to do it from us this week, guys. Jack, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, mate, any bloody time. I'm very excited to come back and do it again next week. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Thank you very much again, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. Until next time, may all of your games be good ones, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.